The maintenance clipboard listed one open work order for the arena. Locker Room B, floor drain, recurring cold spot. 3 years running. Nobody signed it off. I took the overnight security contract in October, 3rd shift, patrolling the lower concourse of a mid-market professional basketball arena. The team was on a 9-game road stretch. Empty building. 14,000 seats. My route ended at Locker Room B, a windowless room under Section 104, where the visiting rosters dressed on game nights. First night, the temperature gauge on my belt clip read 41 degrees inside that room. The corridor outside read 68. No vent fed Locker Room B. The HVAC schematic taped to the mechanical closet showed the duct capped off in 1994. The head custodian, a man named Reyes with 31 years on the building, told me the room used to be an ice plant. Before the arena, the site held a municipal ice house, built 1911. Blocks of harvested lake ice were stacked 40 feet high, behind sawdust insulation, and sold to butchers and undertakers before mechanical refrigeration reached the district. In February 1926, the ice house ammonia compressor ruptured. 9 workers were sealed inside the cold storage vault during the leak. The building was condemned, the vault bricked over, the bodies never recovered from beneath the collapsed ice stacks. The city paved it. 60 years later, they poured an arena foundation on top. Locker Room B sat directly over the sealed vault. I did not know any of that the first week. I only knew the cold and the dripping. Locker 12 dripped. Every night, the same locker, second from the shower entry. Clear water pooled under the door and crept to the floor drain. I opened it once with the master key. Empty, dry inside, but the outside kept weeping water that had no source. Night 9, the drip changed. Reyes and I both heard it. Not a drip, a settling crunch, like a boot compressing packed snow. It came from inside 12. I keyed it open. The locker was packed solid with crushed white ice, floor to ceiling, and the metal shelf inside had bowed under the weight. Pressed into the center of the ice was a folded jersey. Navy. Number 12. Reyes went gray. He said the arena carried no Navy uniforms, home whites and road grays only. This jersey was old cotton, heavy, the kind teams stopped using in the 70s. I pulled it free. The stitched surname on the back was Voss. Reyes made me wait while he went to the records office in the administrative wing. He came back with a laminated employee roster from the demolition permits, salvaged when the arena archived the old site history for a lobby display. One name was circled in the 1926 Ice House casualty list. A. Voss, compressor operator, 24 years old, sealed in the vault. I told myself somebody planted it. A prank, a leftover from a costume promotion. But the ice kept coming. Night 11, lockers 8 through 15, were all packed with ice by 3 a.m. Each one held a folded Navy jersey. Each jersey carried a different stitched name. I photographed all 9. Reyes cross-checked them against the casualty list. 9 names, 9 victims. Every jersey matched a worker sealed in the 1926 vault. The shower drain started making shapes, standing water pooling on the tile floor, sliding into patterns, dark grout lines reading like letters. Cold, then down, then a number. 41. The exact vault depth in feet, recorded on the 1926 condemnation survey. I called the arena operations director. He drove in at 4 in the morning, furious, until he saw Locker Room B. The temperature had dropped to 29 degrees, Frost climbed the walls, our breath fogged. He stopped being furious. He told me the building had a standing clause nobody ever explained. A permanent exemption in the operating permit. Locker room B could not be used for full occupancy during the coldest 3 days of February. The team scheduled every February home game as a road trip that week. For decades. Written into the lease. No reason given. Those 3 days were the anniversary of the ammonia rupture. We were 4 days out. Night 14, the ice was gone. Every locker empty. Dry. Warm. The floor drain stopped weeping. The temperature gauge climbed back to 68. I almost believed it had ended. Then I found the 10th jersey. It hung alone in the middle of the room on a hook that was not there before. Navy. New cotton, not old. The stitching was fresh, still warm to the fingertips. Thread ends not yet trimmed. The name on the back was mine. Reyes did not come in that night. His wife told me he had a heart attack in the parking structure the evening prior, near the ramp that descended past the sealed vault line. He survived. He would not return to the building. On the phone, he said one thing, breathing hard through an oxygen line. The ice house had 10 workers on shift that February. 9 were sealed in the vault. 1 walked out. 1 survived because he ran. That 10th man spent his whole life saying the vault was not finished. It wanted a 10th. It waited under the concrete for 60 years for a 10th body to complete the shift. The 10th man's name was Reyes, his grandfather. I dropped the phone. The room temperature fell so fast the water in my bottle skinned over with ice. The lockers slammed open one by one down the row, and each held ice again, and the shower drain pushed water up instead of down, and it spelled one word across the whole floor. Stay. I ran for the concourse stairs. The exit door at section 104 was frozen shut, a solid inch of frost sealing the crash bar. I put my shoulder into it 4 times. On the 5th, the metal gave. I fell out onto the loading ramp into 40-degree October air that felt tropical after that room. Behind me, the door refroze in seconds, frost lacing the seam. I quit that morning. I mailed the master key back and never entered the building again. The arena hired a replacement guard. He worked 1 week. They found his patrol jacket folded on the hook in the center of locker room B, the sleeves crossed, packed in ice, his radio inside the locker still transmitting a flat carrier tone. Him, they never found. The team keeps the February clause. They will keep it forever now. The vault got its 10th. It was not me, but it was never going to stop until it got someone. And under 14,000 seats, in a room that should not be cold, it is already waiting for 11.